What's the difference between Goli, Keto Blast, BioLife, and Via Keto gummies? Trick question, they're all exactly the same. These 4 gummies are all the exact same apple cider vinegar gummies that are marketed under different names. There are even more aliases for these Keto ACV gummies, but these 4 seem to be the biggest. So with that out of the way, the question one needs to ask is, do these apple cider vinegar gummies do anything for weight loss or keto? And how practical is it to take ACV in gummy form? Let's comprehensively review these, quote, keto apple cider vinegar gummies and see if they hold up to the hype. First, let's take a look at the ingredients. Here are the doses per gummy as listed on their bottles. Goli, Keto Blast, BioLife, and Via Keto gummies all have the same doses per gummy, just that some of the bottles list the doses for 2 gummies rather than just 1 gummy. The recommended dosing for all of them is 2 gummies, 3 times a day, so that's a total of 6 gummies a day. Whenever supplements add any ingredients into their product, there are 3 very common issues. First is that the doses they use are way too small to be effective. Second is that they aren't using the active compounds. And third is that the ingredient itself has not reliably shown any beneficial effect in humans. When we analyze these ingredients, we're going to see which one of these issues they have. The claims around apple cider vinegar and its potential benefits on weight can be summarized into 4 major points, all of which, when looked at practically, are not really of much help at all. First is the claim that acetic acid, the active component in apple cider vinegar, can mildly help with controlling blood sugar levels. While some studies do find this is true, acetic acid is found in regular white vinegar, meaning that there's no additional benefit of the more expensive apple cider vinegar over the far cheaper regular white vinegar. Second is the claim that apple cider vinegar and its acidity helps with appetite and digestion. Vinegars like ACV tend to stimulate digestion and increase appetite, so if you're trying to lose weight, that's probably the last thing you want to do. Also, stomach acid is way more acidic than apple cider vinegar, and your body produces 1.5 liters of it. So if you're taking 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, it's not going to help with digestion at all. Third is the claim that probiotics found in the sediment of apple cider vinegar might be helpful. The amount of sediment found in ACV is very small, and most of it is made of fiber and leftovers from manufacturing, not probiotics. So realistically, even if the probiotics were helpful, you're getting an absolutely minuscule amount of probiotics, certainly not enough to be beneficial for health. Fourth is the claim that the sourness of apple cider vinegar can help perk you up and improve energy. This claim is mostly anecdotal, and if you do find it does, then it's likely that the sour flavor is helping you, not necessarily the apple cider vinegar. Some people find this to be the case when mixing lemon with coffee. There's nothing special about the lemon, but perhaps the sourness of the lemon being added to the coffee helps to make the lemon coffee seem to perk you up more than regular coffee. If you want more details about apple cider vinegar, I already have a video specifically about ACV and if it can be helpful for weight loss, so I'll leave a link down below in the description. Now, these claims are made with people taking the apple cider vinegar raw from liquid form, and most people take around 2 tablespoons per day. But how much apple cider vinegar do you actually get from these gummies? The average tablespoon of apple cider vinegar is about 15 grams. 2 tablespoons of liquid is therefore 30 grams. Their website claims that each gummy has 500 milligrams. That means that you need to eat 60 gummies a day to ingest the equivalent of a normal daily dose of 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. That's the whole freaking bottle. Every day. If you were insane and did that, you'd also be consuming 210 grams of starch and sugar, adding up to a whopping 720 calories per day. There is no way you can realistically get a useful dose of apple cider vinegar from these gummies. We can also calculate how much apple cider vinegar we are actually getting in each gummy. The average weight of a single drop of apple cider vinegar is 50 milligrams. Each gummy has 500 milligrams and therefore provides about 10 drops of apple cider vinegar. Yeah, that's too little to do anything for anyone. But the bigger problem for those trying to lose weight is that each gummy comes with 4 grams of sugar and starch that provides 12 empty calories. The B vitamins, particularly B12, are essential vitamins used by the body for fat metabolism. Vitamin B12 is usually found in animal protein like meat, milk, or eggs. Supplementing vitamin B12 is a good recommendation for vegetarians or vegans since they tend to be deficient. Deficiencies in these vitamins can lead to impaired fat metabolism. However, the doses of B12 and B9 provided by these gummies are so minuscule that most children's multivitamin gummies have more B vitamins than them. If you were really deficient in B12, I would recommend just taking a regular B12 supplement since these gummies do not provide enough. The organic beetroot and pomegranate so proudly displayed on their webpage may seem great, but look at the doses. They're measured in micrograms, not milligrams, micrograms. Micrograms are 1,000 times smaller than a milligram. To get an idea of how small a microgram is, a single grain of granulated sugar is approximately 600 micrograms. A single grain. Take 1/10 of that grain of sugar, and you still have more organic beetroot or organic pomegranate in one of those gummies. I think I can safely say that these microscopic amounts of vegetables aren't doing anything for you. But could these gummies hurt you? Well, it might, especially if you have blood sugar issues like diabetes or insulin resistance. It would actually be harmful to your weight loss progress since it adds empty calories and sugar into your diet. Also, it may actually be more harmful for your teeth than regular candy, since it contains not only sugar, but acetic acid, which directly harms enamel. All these branded keto apple cider vinegar gummies are essentially candies. That's what they are, and the couple drops of apple cider vinegar they put into each one doesn't change it at all. You just aren't getting any meaningful dose of apple cider vinegar from them, and trying to do so would require you to eat the whole bottle, at which point the side effects would likely include diabetes. So no, they aren't effective at all, and they don't have any health benefits whatsoever. In fact, taking these regularly would more likely harm your health, just like eating candy every day might. At least it would most certainly negatively affect your weight loss progress. If you ate what the bottle recommends at 6 per day, you're adding 72 calories per day from refined sugars and carbs. That's like drinking half a can of Coke every day. They shouldn't be classified as a health food, but unfortunately a lot of places like Walmart do, which is misleading and confusing for customers. Please, just put them into the candy section, which is exactly what they are. Also, they don't do anything for keto. In fact, they're worse for keto since keto diets require you to stay away from carbs and sugar. These gummies are literally carbs and sugar. It's like me trying to sell you a brand of cigarettes that I claim helps to increase your lung health. That would be ridiculous, and that's exactly what these quote Keto ACV gummies are. Ridiculous. Don't be fooled. These so-called quote apple cider vinegar or quote keto gummies are all just the same piece of expensive gummy candy marketed under different aliases like BioLife, Goli, Keto Blast, Keto Flow, Optiplex, Super Slim, Simply Keto, Total Keto, Truly Keto, Via Keto. The list goes on, and they're gonna come out with new aliases in the future. We can see when and even where these different aliases were marketed by comparing the search interest of different brand names. For example, Goli appears to be the longest running alias of these gummies, with search interest dating back to July 2019. Then, in early May 2022, the alias Keto Blast appeared. It was quickly followed by the aliases Simply Keto and Via Keto later in the same month. Most recently, in September 2022, these gummies appeared under the new aliases BioLife, followed closely by Keto Flow. Many of these aliases are marketed in the United States, but the main alias Goli appears to be all over the world, and Via Keto appears to be targeted toward Australia. So you can see what's going on here. They're creating new aliases almost once a month to see which ones catch on. When the hype dies down for one of these aliases, they just create a brand new alias for the same crappy candy, pretend that it's a health food and promise a bunch of misleading results, then market the hell out of it. This marketing strategy works to some degree because when people see something new, they think it'll be different and are willing to give it a try even though it's just the same old thing being rebranded. If you want to avoid buying into this again in the future, a good rule of thumb is to simply avoid any gummy supplements at all. Gummies are candies and should not be considered a health food, no matter what they put into it. ACV gummies are a very expensive candy. Each bottle costs $20 for 60 gummies, but if they're suggesting a dose of 6 per day, that's about 3 bottles a month, or a total cost of $60 a month. Generic apple cider vinegar costs around $8 a month, and regular vinegar less than $1 a month. And at least then you'd be getting a useful dose. Then if you really wanted something gummy and sweet to chase it, you could just pop a wine gums or any regular gummy candy afterwards. Rating ACV gummies by effectiveness for weight loss, I'm giving it an F. It'll more likely hurt your weight loss since eating candy every day is just empty calories. Rating it by cost, I'm giving it an F. It's a pretty expensive candy, and personally, I like the taste of wine gums more. They're cheaper too. Rating it for safety, I'm giving it a C. The sugar and added acetic acid of this candy makes it more harmful to your enamel than regular gummy candy if you don't brush religiously. Overall rating, I'm giving an F. I would recommend you stay away from it. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know can use the info.